Above all else, Chapter 5, Chapter 5, Belief is the key. Above all else, you have to believe that you have Buddha nature, the power within yourself that enables you to become a Buddha. Then, like a gardener taking care of a plant, you have to make this Buddha nature bloom. However, most people have forgotten about this Buddha nature. Even though flowers bloom and drop according to the season, everyone knows that there is the power inside of plants to bloom again the following year. But people have forgotten that there is also such ability within themselves. If we can realize that we are at the greatest moment of transformation after having gone through innumerable lives, then we will truly know that inside ourselves there is the power to become a Buddha. If you do not believe in yourself, you cannot receive the key to mind. How can the key to the treasure storehouse be given to you if you do not believe? You already have every kind of treasure there is, so believe in yourself and throw away those thoughts that you are great or that you are no good. True self can do all things, even things that you imagined were impossible. If you have faith that true self can do it, you can survive even on top of a barren rock. If you believe that Juingong does everything and can resolve everything, then your Juingong instantly manifests as Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva and teaches the Dharma, or manifests as the medicine Bodhisattva and shows the Dharma. Thus there's no need for calling out Buddha, help me, or Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, save me. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all awakened beings, and all the profound ability and power of the universe exist inside of belief. Unenlightened people do not know what is truly good and what is not good. Therefore, the best thing for people to do is to strongly believe that Juingong is always taking care of everything. However, many people ask, what happens if I believe and entrust things to Juingong, but then they don't turn out the way I want them to? This is not belief. Once you truly have faith, entrusting something takes only an instant, and there's nothing left over for you to worry about. Juingong never ignores your faith. Everything is done through sincere belief. Belief is the key. Belief rewards you in proportion to your faith. It gives everything to those people who wholeheartedly believe, and it gives half to those people who half-heartedly believe. This is why complete belief in Juingong is emphasized. Don't be discouraged when hardships confront you. Even if hardships arise from your foundation, as long as you have faith, your foundation can also solve those problems. When you have unwavering faith that Juingong can solve it, you begin to find your true self. When you have strong faith like this, you will be free from fear and doubt, and you will be unshakable yet open to whatever confronts you. If you don't have faith in Hanmum Juingong, no matter how well you are able to do things, there is still an unseen 50% that you haven't taken care of. When the root is healthy, the stalk will be sturdy, and when the stalk is sturdy, the seeds will ripen. And trust and let go of everything, the wall of fixed ideas. Letting go means letting go of not only distressing and unpleasant things, but also every kind of fixed idea. We carry around so many fixed ideas, such as you and I, good and bad. You made all of these fixed ideas, and as long as you cling to them, it's impossible for you to become one with your true nature, Juingong. The worst prison in the world is the prison of thought. The most difficult wall in the world to overcome is the wall of fixed ideas. From a certain perspective, spiritual practice means freeing yourself from such prisons of thought. Thus, if you keep thinking I'm just an unenlightened being, then because of that thought, you cannot play any role other than that of an unenlightened being. Be very aware of the great difference a single thought can make. Don't make a big deal about other people's level of spiritual development. If you discriminate between higher and lower, you will not be able to make progress in your own practice. Even though you truly know, do not give rise to the thought that you know. Even though you may be higher, Do not think that you are higher. Even though someone else may be ignorant, you should not let yourself be caught by thoughts like that. From the present viewpoint, something may clearly seem right or wrong. However, from the combined viewpoint of past, present, and future, things cannot so easily be called right or wrong. You can roll a barrel only when you are outside of the barrel. When you are caught by fixed ideas, it is as if you are trapped inside of a barrel, so you cannot freely use your mind. If you escape from your fixed ideas, you will see that all of the thoughts and perspectives that you considered so precious are utterly ridiculous. Mind is formless and can freely go anywhere in the universe. So if you give rise to thoughts in a wise and all-embracing manner, you can escape from the barrel, from bondage, and from the prison that has no bars. How can you freely use your mind unless you first step outside of your own fixed ideas? Fixed ideas are like a wisp of cloud or smoke, but nonetheless, people find themselves blocked or captured by these. You would laugh if you saw someone tripped by a cloud, or if someone claimed that they were imprisoned by the air. But, in fact, people are endlessly being trapped by things no more substantial than air or clouds. They make a wall with their mind, and then it imprisons them. Inherently, there is no wall or anything to trip over. These things are mirages they've created from the thoughts they gave rise to. Do not insist upon your own fixed ideas. Your persistence is your own narrow mind. If your mind is broad, it can easily embrace the entire world. However, if your mind is narrow, even a needle cannot enter. You have to keep letting go of your stubbornness and always be deeply respectful of all life and things. This is returning to and relying upon the Buddha Dharma. This is also how to become a free person. Always be humble. Be humble. The fragrance of your broad and generous mind will warm others' hearts. Thoughts of I. Clinging to the idea that you and others are different, to the extent that you cannot even imagine everything is just one, is the fundamental obstacle that blocks the path to Buddha. At first, focusing on I may seem somewhat helpful, but in fact, it is the foundation of evil. Clinging to these thoughts of I actually prevents us from being able to participate in the Buddha realm and prevents us from experiencing the incredible benefits of that participation. Until we thoroughly know the truth of non-duality, there can be no lasting peace for us. Therefore, as a practitioner, you must not view anything dualistically, and you must heavily and sincerely release everything into your foundation and go forward. Wisdom is knowing that I does not exist. Wisdom is knowing that matter and the physical body are merely images in a dream, that they are just drops of water stirred up by the wind and waves. Ignorance is nothing other than insisting that an individual I exists, while forgetting that the physical body and matter cannot avoid disappearing. Just throw away I, and a million kinds of suffering and confusion will all fall asleep. My possessions, my thoughts, my fame, what I deserve, all of these imprison you inside of a barrel. Unfortunately, unenlightened people usually think that these are defensive walls that can protect them when they face troubles and difficulties. Therefore, you try to make them higher and thicker as time goes on. However, as you do this, your mind shrinks and becomes cold. As a result, this wall is not something that protects you. It is a wall that hurts you, a wall that imprisons you. Nothing can be put in a bowl that is completely full. You cannot put anything into a mind that is already filled with thoughts of I, attachments, desires, and the self-pride that insists that you are the best. A bowl has to be emptied before it can benefit from new things. When your stomach is empty, you can enjoy food. However, if your stomach is full, then even though a sumptuous feast is before you, you can't take even one bite. One of the truths of life is that once you let go of everything, you gain everything. You should be able to find the egotistic pride that is subtly hidden within your mind. This kind of honesty and wisdom is essential. As you keep practicing, the layers of me will peel away one by one, and the wall that separates all lives will gradually disappear. The person who sees everything equally never falls into egotistic pride and is on the path that becomes wider and wider. All sages, since time immemorial, have shown that I does not exist. Nevertheless, people cling to I and wander around for the whole day. Suddenly the sun sets and it's time to go to bed. Clinging in habits, defilements, and delusions. Nothing is yours. Be free from all ideas of having. If things can be said to belong anywhere, they belong to the foundation. You are merely managing the things that come into your life. Take care of those people and things as best you can, but be free from any ideas of possessing them. Even if you move your belongings from this room to that room, those things are still yours. If the whole world is your house, what does it matter if something is in this room or that room? Having is just moving things from one room to another. This is how awakened people use their minds. Thus, when they need something, it comes to them naturally. Because they don't have the thought of mine, they freely roam the universe, one with everything. Don't cling to your body. If you are too attached to it, you'll have a hard time leaving it behind when the time comes. Thus, at the end of their lives, many people spend years in pain. It's like shelling peas. It's hard to do when the pod and peas are all stuck together. However, if the peas are ripe, the shell easily falls away. Likewise, if you are not attached to your body, you can freely leave when it's time. As the sea and the waves are not separate, enlightenment and deluded thoughts are not too. So don't spend your time trying to figure out which thoughts are deluded and which are not. Just let go of everything. When you do this, thoughts of I, discriminations, and deluded thoughts will naturally disappear. When thoughts arise, do not think of them as deluded thoughts and never try to cut them off. The idea of trying to get rid of them is itself a deluded thought. The fact that thoughts arise is not the problem. After all, if thoughts didn't arise, it would mean you were a corpse, not a living person. In order to be free from deluded thoughts, you have to first free yourself from your fixed ideas about what is deluded. The way to free yourself is to just entrust everything to Gong, instead of trying to figure out, what kind of thought is this? Because even deluded thoughts arise from Gong. Entrust everything to Gong. Completely let go of it. When you return defilements and delusions inside, to your fundamental mind, its evolutionary power can shine forth. Lotus flowers bloom in mud, and the Buddha Dharma blooms in the midst of defilements. I've never said that you shouldn't possess money, fall in love, or be upset when angry. Do all of this as you need to, but it is important to know that all of this is being done by your foundation. Watch and see if you are doing things from attachments to I or mine. If you live harmoniously, knowing that there is nothing that is not yourself, you will be able to take everything in the world as material for your spiritual practice. If you are truly able to live like this, your every thought and word will manifest in the physical world. At this stage, you will understand the meaning of the all-reaching hands and feet of Buddha. Questioning. While entrusting everything to Gong, sometimes questions will suddenly arise within you. Why did things turn out like this? What's the fundamental principle behind these things? How can I have sensation and perceptions if all things are truly not separate? Why is it said that all things are empty? I'm doing all kinds of things. So why is it said that Gong is the one that is doing everything? All kinds of questions will arise. If you go forward while relying upon only Gong, then questions will arise naturally. This is true questioning and great questioning. This kind of questioning arises like fresh spring water. Trying to intentionally make up questions is like rotating empty millstones. Nothing is produced and you just wear yourself out. Intentionally made questions and naturally arising questions are as different as heaven and earth. If you try to make up questions using your intellect, these won't be true questions, nor will any true answers arise. When you wholeheartedly believe in and entrust everything to your foundation, questioning bursts forth. When you let go again of even these questions, the answers will arise from within. When questions naturally arise, if you do not know the answer, just let go of the question and go forward. Eventually, the answer will come out. When you entrust questions to your foundation like this, it naturally takes care of them. Sometimes I use the word peaceful to describe this, but this doesn't mean I feel peaceful because I have let go, because deluded thoughts have been cut off. At true self, the foundation, everything functions together without any hindrance and is always changing and flowing, so that when something is entrusted there, an appropriate response naturally arises. This is why I use the word peaceful. Great questioning gives birth to great enlightenment. Great questions naturally appear from inside after you can absolutely entrust all obstacles to your foundation and after true self is revealed. These questions are not intentionally made, they arise naturally. Great questioning is the best kind of questioning. It is given by true self in order to teach you. Furthermore, if you let go of even those questions and go forward, the answer will suddenly occur to you, either immediately or sometimes later when the time is right. How to let go. Faith and letting go. Letting go is itself belief. Without faith, you can't let go. You need to completely let go of everything, knowing that Juingong is taking care of it all, no matter whether things seem to be going well or badly. How can you completely let go if you do not believe? How should you entrust everything to your inherent nature? First, sincerely believe in your inherent nature, Juingong, and know that it is taking care of everything. Second, go forward with courage. Third, experiment with how Juingong takes care of everything. Continuously apply what you experience, and never let yourself be daunted by anything. Letting go is not saying, I don't care, or living in denial. If you try to let go with the attitude that I don't care, or please make things go well, while hoping for a miracle without any effort on your own part, then this is not truly letting go. When you act like this, you're treating Juingong, your foundation, as if it were something separate from yourself. When you let go single-mindedly, knowing your foundation is the only thing that can truly take care of everything. Let go knowing that everything arises from Juingong, so only Juingong is able to solve everything. Let go unconditionally. There are no justifications or reasons involved in letting go. As soon as something arises, unconditionally entrust it to Juingong, your foundation. Entrust everything to Juingong, entrust the things you understand and the things you don't understand. Entrust happiness and entrust suffering, entrust poverty and entrust disease. Let go of things that are not going well and let go of things that are going well. Let go. Knowing only Juingong can truly show me the path. By letting go like this, you can empty your mind and unload the heavy luggage you have been carrying for eons. By letting go like this, you can clean up the dust of your mind, which has been accumulating for eons, and you can truly live and truly die. Don't try to take care of things by relying upon theories, sutras, clever words, or other people's ideas. Instead, just let go while believing that only Juingong can solve it. Let go once, let go twice, let go continuously, so that you are used to letting go. Keep letting go so that it becomes second nature, like taking off your shoes when you enter a house. Then even problems of genetics and karma will melt down. Let go to emptiness. Where should we let go to? Let go to emptiness. What is emptiness? Emptiness means all lives changing and manifesting every instant and functioning together as one. Every single thing is empty, including myself. Everything is part of this emptiness. Everything is subject to the law of emptiness. Everything is changing and manifesting, including myself. So we are inherently living while letting go. Even the thought I've done has no place to stick to. Thus, there's no need to even say let go or entrust. However, many people don't understand this, so I say let go to emptiness as a method to help them realize the truth. How could we live without letting go to emptiness? Karma is the absolutely unavoidable result of what we have done. It arises continuously from within us. I'm concerned that if I say to just let go of everything, it may seem too ambiguous or cause some people to fall into nihilism. So I have said, take emptiness as the central pillar and let go of everything to that. When a pinwheel rotates, it relies upon its central point. Likewise, you have to make Juengong your foundation, your center point. Rely upon this center and entrust it with all things. When you can do this, you can live with vitality and you can live freely, like flowing water. All things are directly connected to each other through the foundation, and unseen energy flows back and forth between all lives and things. However, when people discriminate, clinging to some things and rejecting or avoiding others, they block this energy from flowing freely. Thus, if you just let go and entrust everything to your foundation, to Juengong, this energy can flow naturally, exactly as needed. Although it is said that you should let go inwardly or return things inward, in fact, Juengong is neither inside nor outside. Juengong is the combination of all things in the universe and existed before all of those things. Although it cannot be grasped, it can be grasped. The virtue and merit of letting go. When you keep letting go of everything to Juengong and observing, karma will collapse. Habits will melt down, your true self will be revealed, and every kind of hindrance will surrender to you. Juengong is like a mailbox. If you put something into Juengong and observe, it will be delivered and a reply will return. When people hear let go of everything, they often ask, how can I live if I do that? However, when you let go, you can truly live. Unenlightened people believe that it is necessary to plan and think carefully about every single thing. However, awakened people don't raise thoughts for each little thing they do. Instead, they just rest deeply. Yet everything they do is in accord with the Dharma, without even the slightest error. Because they let go, their actions are more harmonious, natural, profound, sincere, beautiful, and more beneficial than any actions that are done by relying on intellect or planning. Thus, for a true practitioner, everything in daily life is itself the path. Because they let go and rest, every single thing they do, whether moving, standing, sitting, or lying down, is all naturally in accord with the Dharma. If you try to practice by depending upon some specific regimen or physical method, in the beginning, your goal may seem clear and close at hand. However, as you go further, your path becomes hazy and eventually it will come to a dead end. On the other hand, if you keep letting go and entrusting and experiencing the results of this, then the path that seemed narrow in the beginning will gradually widen, and in the end will become a great avenue and gateway to the truth. Living while completely letting go of everything produces infinite virtue and merit. First, every kind of suffering will collapse. Second, habits that have been sustained for eons by karmic affinity will all melt down. Third, the defilements and delusions that filled the mind will gradually disappear. And eventually there will be nothing to be empty and nothing to be full. At this point, your true self will be clearly revealed. Spiritual practice is like building a house. When you have reached this point, you have a strong foundation and are therefore ready to begin erecting the pillars that will support what comes next. Unceasing practice. The correct attitude for practicing. You must not try to search outside of yourself. Take your inherent nature as your teacher. Because your inherent nature exists, everything in the universe functions together. So take your inherent nature, your fundamental mind, as your teacher. In this practice, you teach yourself and you learn from yourself. You let go and you receive. You surrender and you accept the surrender. Spiritual cultivation is done like this, between you and your true self. Don't be caught by outside things. God, Buddha, and Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva all exist within you. If you would find and know them, start by brightening your own inner light. Then you will also be able to correctly perceive yourself and the world around you. However, if you abandon your own inner light and search for Buddha or God outside yourself, you will not find them. And little you do will turn out well. Flowers bloom naturally when the conditions are right. People should learn about the conditions that cause flowers to bloom, and then create those conditions. Instead, they often wander around trying to find some unique and astonishing method. Instead of searching outside of yourself, you should first center your mind, and then take those thoughts that are focused on outward things and return them inward. Do not be dazzled by or chase after other people's enlightenment. Instead, create the conditions that will allow the flower of enlightenment that is within you to bloom. You're already endowed with it, so just help it to bloom naturally. To a practitioner, tomorrow does not exist, only here and now exists. You should not postpone things, assuming that somehow the situation will be better tomorrow. It won't be any different if you don't make an effort now. Today, here at this moment, you must see directly with clear eyes and must go forward steadily and calmly, like the noble steps of an elephant moving through the forest. Right here is the place of the Buddha realm. This moment is the instant that Buddha is born, and is the instant that encompasses all of the past and future. Thus, practitioners understand that this moment, this day, is all there is. This present moment is the instant of your birth, so it is in this moment that you must practice. Go forward with steps that never leave any trace. Accept everything that confronts you with a positive attitude, and never try to avoid anything you face. It's not a problem of obtaining something or getting rid of something or not getting rid of something. Just make sure you aren't trying to avoid the things that are coming, and don't try to cling to the things that are leaving. Become a brave person who is never stained by anything or attached to anything. Become a true human being, a person who is both the most normal and the most extraordinary. A courageous person covers 1,000 miles with a single step. A small-minded person can run 100 miles, and it still won't amount to even one step. Practice is resting. If you want to awaken, then your mind should be calm and spacious. However, if you continuously give rise to the thought that you want to become a Buddha quickly, or that you want to immediately escape the sufferings of an unenlightened being, then your mind will become narrower and more restless. The harder you try to grab something, the farther away it goes. Rest deeply, and it comes naturally. This is the magic of spiritual practice. Practitioners must be honest with themselves. This is because your foundation is Buddha, and the nature of Buddha is emptiness, where no fixed ideas exist. No deceptions, excuses, or rationalizations can help you awaken to your foundation. Accomplishing things naturally is the best way. Instead of using your intellect to make detailed plans in order to accomplish something, entrust it to your foundation. Your foundation is the source of all truth, so it is completely able to take care of whatever you entrust to it. Everyone can do this. Everyone can experience this. When you do experience this, you can open your eyes to the infinite ability within yourself, and you naturally feel deeply grateful for your foundation. Never doubt that an ordinary, unenlightened person like yourself is endowed with infinite ability. Giving up without even trying is the reason unenlightened people stay unenlightened. Look at how water flows. When it meets a hole, it fills the hole and then continues flowing. When it meets a rock or hill, it flows around it and continues on. The practice of finding your true self should be done like this. How should you meditate? You can sit if you want to sit, stand if you want to stand, work if you want to work, or busily take care of your daily life. All of these can be practicing meditation. Sitting meditation means that you maintain a calm and steady mind while entrusting every single thing to Juing Gong, with the faith that Juing Gong is the source and destination of all things. Thus, sitting meditation is possible in any circumstance. It is the mind that sits, not the body. As long as you let go and entrust with belief, your daily life itself can be meditation. When some people first hear about letting go, it seems too ambiguous or difficult. They feel uncertain about what to do when they hear about letting go, because no method or detailed instruction is given. You may feel that you have to use sitting meditation in order to practice. However, your mind doesn't sit just because your body does. Meditation is done through mind, not through the body. You have to begin by taking care of problems through mind. You're doing things backward if you're trying to use your body to grasp your mind. From the very beginning, you have to practice through mind. This mind should be your fundamental mind, not the false self, not I. If you're trying to rely upon something other than mind, it's like trying to hold a shadow. Your basic direction is already wrong, so you can't avoid going astray. This is why I don't give people the traditional huadas to practice with. Calm and steady practice, together with deep and sincere faith, is itself meditation. This can also be called true meditation, where you do not have even the thoughts I'm doing, or I was sitting in meditation. It is also living meditation. You can practice in whatever circumstances you find yourself. Light the lantern of your mind and keep it bright every single day. Sion is nothing other than this. In your daily life, if you do not give rise to the illusion of I, if you entrust everything to Juing Gong, and if your mind is completely unshakable, regardless of whether you find yourself in heaven or in hell, then this is true meditation. Of course, meditation can be practiced while sitting quietly in a peaceful place, but your daily life itself is also the place for practicing meditation. The 24 hours of your daily life can all be meditation. Even if you sometimes forget Juing Gong during the day, if you remember this fundamental power that moves and guides you, then at that instant, all of the time you had forgotten about it disappears, and it's as if there were never a break in your practice. There are many methods with the goal of spiritual awakening, but if you do not practice through mind, ultimately all of those methods will be useless. Once you truly understand how to practice through mind, you can practice yoga, contemplation, or sitting meditation as you wish. Spiritual cultivation does not depend upon any style or routine of practice. Huadu. Daily life itself is a huadu, so there is no need to receive a huadu from others or to give a huadu to others. Your very existence is a huadu. Thus, if you are continuously holding on to a huadu someone else gave you, when will you be able to solve your original huadis? Trying to solve another person's huadu is like turning empty millstones or spinning a car's wheels without moving forward. Your body itself is a huadu. Birth itself is a huadu. Work itself is a huadu. The vast universe is a huadu. If you want to add more huadis to these, when will you be able to taste this infinitely deep world we live in? Are you going to block what is inherently open and then ask, what is it? For example, when you clearly understand that you are looking at a soda bottle, what benefit do you expect to get by asking, what is this? Let go of the things you know and move on. Huadis are merely an example of skillful means. If you ask about what you already know, saying, what is this? You'll just make yourself confused. If you go forward while letting go, then what you really do not know will arise as questions from the invisible and non-material realm. You have to practice with what's confronting you right now. The seed has already germinated and is growing into a tall tree. What could you hope to gain by ignoring your own tree and searching for the seed of someone else's tree? You have to completely entrust even a huadu to your foundation and let it work naturally. Changing, manifesting, and working together is the law of reality. So you need to live in accordance with this truth and entrust even Juarez to your foundation. However, some people cling so tightly to Juarez that they are unable to let go of them, and so cannot taste the truth. If you receive the Huadu, what is this? You have to completely entrust it to your foundation and let your foundation solve it. If you use your intellect to play with ideas and concepts, the Huadu won't be of any help to you whatsoever. Guan observing. As things confront you, let them go to your foundation and continue to observe. Even if the sky collapses, continue to let go and observe. Let go of everything to your foundation and watch, because everything functions together as one through your foundation. Although I tell you to observe and entrust to your foundation all of the things and difficulties that confront you, fundamentally none of those things are separate from Hanmam. Nonetheless, you still need to keep observing and entrusting them. If you keep practicing like this, your focus will change from letting go and observing to trying to find the foundation, the true self that watches you let go and observe. Observing means watching the center that has no fixed shape and never stands still. Observing is not praying for something. Begging Juingong for help is praying, not entrusting and observing. Just have faith in Juingong and entrust it with everything. And keep watching. Input everything to the computer that is the mind and pay attention to what comes out. Connect with your inherent Buddha and observe how the things you entrusted are taken care of naturally and automatically. What benefit do you think you will obtain by ignoring your own inherent Buddha and begging others for help? Keep watching your own steps. Keep watching who is talking, who is listening, and who is seeing. Keep watching the one that has been doing everything in your daily life. If you are looking for truth in some place other than your daily life, you will never find it. Carefully observe your tears, laughter, suffering, and happiness. Right there, do the things you cry and laugh about truly exist? Does the self who cries and laughs truly exist? Keep watching very closely and carefully. Even if you're facing an emergency that seems beyond your ability, entrust that to Juingong and keep watching. Have faith in Juingong and continue to entrust and observe. Keep watching without discriminating between things. Juingong, your foundation, will take care of whatever you entrust it with. Firmly believe this and go forward. This is meditation. This is entrusting and observing. Have faith in Juingong and keep entrusting it with whatever confronts you, and just keep watching what comes out. Don't beg for the outcome that is most appealing to your own fixed ideas. Although the things you have created over countless eons steadily come out, if you let go as they confront you, then what has been input will be erased. Keep watching this process. When you entrust things to Juingong, never think of yourself and Juingong as being separate. Inherently, you and Juingong are one. You are the one who lets go, and at the same time you are also the one who receives. Likewise, there is no separation between the one who is watching and what is being watched. If you are distinguishing between the one who is watching and what is watched, then this is not true in trusting and observing.